Greetings there, friend! Welcome to the fire. Ever planned out something way in advance, but the party ends up stumbling into that plot twist inadvertently way too soon? How my players found a plot twist I had planned for about 20 sessions in advance. Immediately. r/dndstories, posted by Sunkoso1. Currently DMing a group on Roll20 and it's going great. The players are loving it. There's this weird and mysterious Shadow Lord figure lurking about, and our players have just stamped out the beginnings of a shadow plague in one of their hometowns. Now, the player, Marcus, in question belongs to a noble family, and his entire family has gone missing. His family was guarding a door that they said must never be opened, at any cost, only for Marcus to return home and find that his family has disappeared and the door has been opened. He sends word for investigators to come study the occult writings within the room the door had closed off, and a week goes by. Well, one of the players, Yonder, spots an odd shadowy figure in Marcus's family library at night, generally doing spooky things, and confronts it, which leads to it disappearing into the floor and into the basement with the spooky door. The party investigates and finds that the two researchers have been drained dry, turned into husk and ash. After a brief discussion, they send for a priest and have him purify the remains. Time passes, and they notice strange things in the town. People seem sicker, more emaciated, and of course immediately assume the worst, as I've been sprinkling in hints of a shadow plague throughout the campaign. For about 10 sessions now, they immediately lure these people into an enclosed room with harsh sunlight and kill the shadows that have been plaguing them, thus curing the shadow plague. Or so they think. Now this whole mystery shebang has been going on for about 4 sessions now, and during this time they've been accompanied by Marcus's butler, Alfred. Alfred has been extremely helpful and mysteriously magical, always seeming to turn up at the right time when they're looking for him, always seeming to have just what they need. Of course, some found him suspicious, but through him being generally nice, they come to trust and adore him, especially when it came out that he was a paladin, at least partly, that had grown tired of war and sought a more peaceful life. Well, one of Marcus's heirlooms was a crystal that they had recently discovered, displayed a map when a spell slot is put into it, which updates in real time the location a host of items from a time long past. On a side note, it also updates the location of any person who had put a spell slot into it. After some tinkering around, they discovered that they could see what was in the immediate surroundings of said item or person, and hear what was in their vicinity. Completely by chance, they asked Alfred to inject a spell slot, just to make sure they knew he was doing alright whenever they wanted. Again, they adored him at this point. Another in-game week goes by, and they finally decide to complete a quest they had been given before this whole debacle. While on the road, they check in on the items, as one of the characters' father had also gone missing while looking for it on another continent. Then, at precisely 9 p.m., which was the time slot I had for Alfred to be communicating with a certain person, they randomly decided to check in on him to see how he was doing. I had planned for Alfred's betrayal, him working for the Shadow Lord, to be something that came up far later in the campaign. But I had specific timetables worked out for Alfred, and they happened by pure luck checked in on him at that specific point in time, so I had to spill it early. They were still shocked and angry, while some of them reasoned that Alfred must be manipulated or controlled in some way. But still, just one more thing that a DM doesn't count on players doing. See, I feel like this is one of those situations where the DM shoots themselves in the foot with their big reveal too early on. While kudos to OP for sticking to their predetermined schedule, it wasn't really necessary and kinda ruined what could have been a big gotcha moment. What could have been a big jackpot with one more pull was cashed out for 20 bucks. Now, with that being said, it could still be salvaged. There's still a lot of different routes that you could still take. Some examples could be have it set up to actually have Alfred be playing both sides and he eventually becomes the penultimate big bad. Or it's a double cross and have it set up so Alfred is actually working with the party or ends up as their ally again with a redemption arc. And then finally, you could just go all in and have Alfred become a thorn in the party side and explain that he was so helpful only because he was learning about the party members' individual weaknesses and then use it against them. So yeah, that's 3 choices for you there if you find yourself in that kind of situation. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.